Look, lady, whatever you're selling, I ain't buying, yo.
Well, my name is Skylar White, yo. My husband is Walter White, yo. Uh-huh. He told me everything.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 32 of Gorilla Radio Show. Today, we're going to be answering some voicemails and going over some interesting anthropological theories that are maybe, not definitely, probably racist.
Well, you know if I'm here.
Yeah, well, Greg, I feel like you're going to have a lot to
always-
say about at least a certain aspect of this theory that we're going to be going over.
When we started this podcast, there was a division of labor. Austin would do the research. I would be, the token so they couldn't get canceled. And
Yeah.
Greg would just do a lot of racist bits at every given opportunity.
Only against people from the Southern Balkans. So, you be the judge.
Well, this is perfect for you then. Actually, though, how about I'm going to do something different. I'm going to start off today's episode with a monkey fun fact. So, monkey fun fact. The Banjarese word for the pig-tailed macaque, sorry, I'm slipping back into my old habits, is Baruch, which is a portmanteau of Warwick and Varica, meaning lemur monkey. Actually, Varica is Malagasy. But when, white people first asked people, what are those things called? They heard Baruch, and because white people like to butcher things like I do, they misheard that as bruh. So the archaic word for macaques throughout most of history until we started calling them macaques was the bruh. Kind of funny. I desperately, this is my homework, I'll give it to myself. I desperately need to find examples of white European explorers throughout history spotting bruhs in the wild.
There was a a bruh encounter.
There was a wild bruh encounter today at the base camp. Having a bruh moment in fucking Malaysia. All right. So, how about we get into this? What I want to talk about today revolves around the theory of two people. They have some collaborators, but they represent a very small sect of modern anthropology. These two people are Madeline Bohm of, I believe, the University of Tübingen, and David R. Begun. You might be asking, David Begun what? And my answer is that's just his name. It's David Begun. Anyways, so these two people are responsible for a theory that human evolution began in not Africa, but Europe. More specifically, the Balkans.
Impossible. They never made it past Neanderthal.
So, let's withhold judgment for now, and let's sort of review the evidence here. There's sort of two main pieces of evidence they use to sort of back up this theory. One is the Danuvius guggenmosi, a quote totally new and different species of ape, which would have allegedly
we promise
moved.
Everyone, it's totally different. It's a different thing.
This one, it's different this time. We swear. So, allegedly, I think I referred to this in a really early episode as the primate that stood bipedally like a bird, and that is because essentially the theory is that anatomically it perched on tree branches in trees, similar to how a bird would, and it would use its hind limbs and forelimbs equally to sort of clamber through the tree branches. The reason why they believe that this is evidence of early bipedalism is essentially by analyzing the bones and the length of the femur and how that relates to the angle of the hips and all that shit. I'm going to be honest, looking over the research papers, there's a lot of back and forth of people arguing no, that doesn't mean it's bipedal. Yes, it does mean it's bipedal. It's lost on me. This is an argument that's kind of way above my head, as in something that mostly paleontologists are insanely invested in. Essentially, what you need to know is the bones that they found of this brand new ape seem to suggest that it stood upright for at least periods of time, and these bones were found in a clay pit in Bavaria. Bavaria? I don't know why I said it like that. I said Bavaria. Holy shit.
Don't worry, it's Germans.
Country boy coming out of me. No. They found it at the Hammerschmied clay pit of Bavaria.
Hammerschmied. What are the fucking Germans doing?
What are they fucking
They are
doing?
making those sounds up.
They are absolutely making those sounds up.
So immediately, when this discovery was made and, sort of crowned the Guggen Mosi,
Crowned
they found
the
that
Guggen pussy.
No. The fossils were approximately 11.6 million years old and came from at least 4 individual apes. And so what this implies, because it's from the period where apes were still in Europe and they hadn't all been pushed out for climatological reasons, essentially the argument is that because this ape had bipedal features, what this was extrapolated to was a theory that apes, while they were still in Europe, developed bipedalism and other human traits, moved back to Africa, and then evolved into humans, and then went back to Europe.
Interesting.
So
sounds completely made up.
It's not entirely impossible, but the problem is...
The premise of it is bad.
The premise of it is, why do you immediately jump to that conclusion? And I think part of the reason why is because her sort of collaborator on this, who's helping to really push this, who has written a foreword for her books on the subject and written an entire book on the subject about why everything we know about human evolution is wrong, basically. His name is David R. Begun, and 20 years before finding really any proof of the idea that hominids started evolving in Europe, he was still fully on board with the theory. So you can see how there's a bit of a interesting, bias here, where he's finding evidence that supports his theory that he's been, railing on for 20 years, it seems like. And I don't know, this could go into libel territory, so I'm not going to make any extrapolations about these people's personal political views, especially because they don't make it obvious. They don't make it obvious, or at least I haven't had the time to read both of their books, because I just... Maybe at some point I'll read through their books and try to psychoanalyze this guy's politics, but at the moment being, it seems like maybe it's a kind of bias. He's just finding evidence that would seem to fit nicely with his theory, rather than finding evidence and then making a theory afterward. Finding things to confirm a preconceived notion is what I would say.
It's kind of like, he's with his white boys. They a little racist.
A little bit.
They are a little racist.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, he is the scratch.
Nah, he's the scratch, fellas. I feel like, most anthropologists treat this a little bit like the aquatic ape theory, which is, the bastard red-headed stepchild of human evolutionary theories, right? Where it's mostly just completely... The aquatic ape theory, we've talked about this, it's mostly completely discredited, because, it takes the idea that, yes, water and bodies of water obviously had some sort of selective pressure on humans, but it takes that to the extreme and says, actually, we evolved from aquatic apes, which seems unlikely. So all of the evidence, it sort of feeds into itself more than it supports a broad sweeping hypothesis. And it's a similar thing with this European ape hypothesis. Now, David Begun, he sort of combined his little project with Madeline Brahms, and his argument was he found a jawbone, or I'm not even sure if he found the jawbone, but there was a jawbone found in Eastern Europe, specifically the area around Greece and Bulgaria.
Don't tell me we all come from Greeks.
Yeah, no, God.
I'll kill myself right now.
We'll do it on air.
The fossil in question belongs to Gracepithecus freibergii, I believe it's pronounced.
The very first Greek pedophile.
The very first Greek pedophile. And the evidence for this claim keep in mind, this is the entire claim that this guy based his theory of. This is actually, oh my god, what is, I'm cycling through the accents today. I'm so sorry.
What is going on?
Basically, he used this fossil to say, actually, this was a hominin, and because it was in Europe, that means, once again, that there's evidence of hominin evolution starting in Europe and then migrating back to Africa.
Which would be wrong, right?
Essentially, this jawbone is missing all of its teeth, which is immediately huge red flag because teeth are one of the most important identifying factors for any primate species. But what he did specifically was take this jawbone and use, I believe, some kind of like microscope to go into the jawbone and peer at the premolar root, where he said the pattern is roughly that of a hominid premolar root, which is interesting because all throughout human evolution and among most hominids, there isn't a consistent premolar root, first of all. So that's already like a
So this
weird
guy's
thing.
definitely just kind of making some shit up here.
He's not making it up, but he's taking very circumstantial evidence that needs to be elaborated on heavily and
Is
using
he a
it to
Balkan
write.
man?
Is he one of the shifty ones?
How do I
Hold
spell
on.
his name?
Stephen R. Begun, I believe.
Why is
Or
his
no,
name
sorry,
not a-
David R. Begun. Have I been saying Stephen this whole time?
David R.
fuck.
Begun, professor of anthropology at the University of Toronto.
No, we love the University of Toronto. Great minds coming out of there for sure.
Hold on, I gotta look at a picture of him to figure out what he is.
Yeah, okay. Do your ethnic geoguessing, Greg. This is your specialty. This is why we have you on the pod.
Well, I'm just gonna say it. He does look a little Balkan-y.
He does look a little Balkan. Is that true?
He does look a
Okay,
little
so-
Balkan.
I'm gonna have to go through and edit every time I said Steven and replace it with David. So this is for me, real quick. David.
Are you gonna edit that over everything?
Let's look at David Begun's Rate My Professor.
Oh, how's he doing on there?
Yeah, look at his Rate My Professor. Actually, this is a good aside.
His lectures, quality 2.0. His lectures
Ooh,
are
wow.
confusing and the slides aren't helpful. You never really know what you need to know. Homework is too hard.
I bet he's one of those guys that like tries to let the implication speak for itself, but really just confuses everyone.
Oh, here's another one. Dr. Begun is passionate and knowledgeable and quite nice, but doesn't know how to teach. Lectures are extremely confusing. Every single one of these is like this. The content wasn't difficult, but he doesn't know how to teach. Professor is really bad at lecturing.
Damn.
Here we go. He knows what he wants to talk about so well that his lectures consist of him going on and on about the topic to the point where nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Squaring what I know about this guy's theory so far. So there's a couple of there's many problems, in fact, with this leap in logic, where I'm not going to completely discredit the idea that maybe humans picked up selective pressures and genetic traits from different parts of the world besides, the highlands of Ethiopia. But at the end of the day, all of the fossil evidence for every other single known human ancestor has been found in Africa. All of our DNA haplogroups come from Africa.
Why don't you
it
do a
all
little
comes
bit of
from
explaining about what a DNA haplogroup is, Austin?
I don't know a whole lot about.
Do you want me to explain it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so a DNA haplogroup is part of your Y DNA. And the way it works is there are these genetic markers that they don't code for anything, but it's easy. It makes it so an anthropologist or a geneticist can trace a group of people's movement across the world throughout history. So they go from like A to U. There's a lot of haplogroups, and a lot of them are dead. They're gone. And we can use these, and we can essentially turn back the clock of time by watching where that haplogroup shows up and what subgroups of that haplogroup exist and where. So a great example is people who live in North Central Asia. So think like Mongolia or Siberia. They share a parental lineage. Their haplogroup is like U2 or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but bear with me. And then every single Native American person in North and South America descends from that haplogroup. It's how we've been able to kind of put to rest people coming to the Americas via Europe. We can trace it back genetically and see that those people came from Northern Asia over some sort of Bering Land Bridge, Kelp Highway, whatever it is, to North America. So that's what a DNA haplogroup is.
Yeah, and the original pool comes from like
They all come
South-
from like Ethiopia.
yeah, like Africa and like South Asia, basically. I don't remember the two main ones that are like, I don't know, maybe the original. I took like one genetics class. I mostly just did the monkey shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you, Greg, for hopping in.
No problem. I want to email this professor.
Well, we don't have to jump to that yet. But
I think
I just can't.
all
I
we
have
do
his
on
email.
this podcast is just stir up beef with like total like mid-level academics. Just we are constantly getting in
Exactly.
their fucking face about shit. It's so
we're just getting in
vet-
their face.
we are going to have to face a union of just C-list academics.
That's why I don't necessarily want to start beef with him. I kind of want to email him and ask him why.
Are you racist? Are you racist? Answer the question, Professor.
Let me see your head. Send me a picture of your head.
Here's the thing. I don't think it may not necessarily be out of some like racist burning drive to prove that all humans were originally European or whatever. I don't even think, even if everything he's saying is true, it necessarily means much of anything, because most of the evolution that mattered happened in Africa. So I'm not really sure. Maybe he's just saying this stuff to, be sensationalist. It might be a case of, you pick one thing you want to study and there's some evidence for it, so you keep pursuing it despite most of the scientific community generally being against that hypothesis, but you still keep pushing ahead at it because, maybe there's something there and, you don't want to have to change everything you've been researching lately. So there's a couple of explanations for this. There is, however, some other explanations of this. What kind of university would be publishing this kind of academic material, knowingly promoting it against, the prevailing theories of human evolution? The University of Tübingen, it's a German university mostly concerned with theological studies, which, first of all, very funny that they have shit to say about human evolution. Started in like the 1400s. It seems like a relatively clean university, whatever. You can also, you go to their Wikipedia page, you scroll to, the controversy section as you do. You see Nazi Germany, 1933. Before the Nazi Party took power, they were one of their biggest supporters. The University of Tübingen was responsible for legitimizing the Third Reich's scientific policies, quote unquote.
Hey, yo.
Even before the victory of the Nazi Party in the general election of March 1933, there were almost no Jewish faculty and no Jewish students. After the Nazi Party won, they immediately cut one of their physicists on faculty for being non-Aryan. And actually, over the course of World War II, at least 1,200 people were sterilized at the university hospital. And also, Pope Benedict was the chair of dogmatic theology in the faculty and, all that stuff. But, that probably doesn't mean much of anything. The other guy, David Begun, he's at the University of Toronto. That's not necessarily a racist institution. I mean, sure, they hired Jordan Peterson and, promoted his shit for years. But, that's mostly coincidental. Google search University of Toronto controversies.
It's always nutty when... it's like if your Wikipedia page has anything, like it has a section titled Nazism.
All right, here we go. Human rights controversy at the University of Toronto, September 29th, 2020. The University of Toronto's law school rescinded a job offer for the director of law school's international human rights program in response to said professor criticizing the Israeli government. So,
free him.
What's the point I'm trying to make here? The point I'm trying to make is that sometimes universities as institutions are inherently evil and need to be killed and burned.
All universities are inherently evil and need to be burned and killed.
Sometimes research that is a little questionable and doesn't necessarily provide much of it could be an interesting line of inquiry, but the fact that it's being promoted at this university as a sort of like grand sweeping new theory of human evolution is a little suspect. And I can't help but think, maybe the university has people like this on its staff for a reason. Not necessarily because they're personally racist, but because the things that they produce can feed into a racist narrative. Like, okay, really quick. So who is clicking the fuck out of their mouse?
Hey, it's me. I'm so sorry. I thought I muted myself to do that.
Fool.
Sorry, everybody on the recording.
So an example of this is the kinds of news outlets that pick up this story as soon as it comes out and say, oh, this is crazy. Brand new evidence suggests that humanity originated in Europe. Among those is, surprisingly, the Smithsonian picked this up with little to no critical
That is
thought.
literally not surprising.
Is it not surprising? Are they
It's
like
fucking. They might as they're the British Museum of America.
Oh yeah, true. I guess I forgot about that. Yeah.
Is the Smithsonian run by British people?
No. I mean, it's racist and imperial in nature.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. No, it's American in general, I suppose.
Yeah.
Another news site that immediately picked up this story and started touting it as, the whole new big thing was the Genetic Literacy Project, where
Oh, who's running that, huh?
again, it was published unquestioningly. No, little to no critical thought, no like differing views from, just about every other paleoanthropologist in the field who has differing thoughts on the matter. You might say, well, why is this? You can probably guess by the the name of the website that it's a little weird, as are most like weird pop science publishing websites. You go to their homepage, there's a featured article about the COVID-19 vaccine causing tinnitus. And then every other article is about GMOs and anti-GMO activists. So I thought this was weird.
Anything on there about seed oil?
Anything on there about seed oil? No, I didn't see anything about seed oil, but
Ugh.
I got curious and I Googled, I started searching into this genetic literacy project. And according to the U.S. Right to Know, the Genetic Literacy Project is a PR front for Monsanto, Bayer, and the chemical industry, who received $100,000 in July to June 2021 to prevent legislative overreach in genetic engineering, according to the group's IRS Form 990.
What do you mean by that?
I think we're finding the thread. I think we're finding the thread that's going to solve this whole fucking little thing over here.
I think we're piecing together a little mystery here, gang. There's also another website that picked it up pretty early, unquestioningly, called like fizz.org. And
Called like
that
Racism
seems...
R Us or something?
No, it actually seemed to be relatively tame. It's just run by like some Indian family, and it's mostly just taking science headlines from academic journals and turning them into like sensationalist headlines.
Anything on there from the Daily Stormer?
No, nothing from the Daily Stormer, but I will say I can't remember the exact reason I started going down this rabbit hole, but it was because, in part, on Twitter, this one random guy was going around on every post that mentioned human evolution and saying shit like, "Heh, you believe that myth that humans came from Africa? Recent studies have shown that human ancestors are derived from the Balkans and Greek, the Mediterranean."
Recent studies show that everybody's descended from a Greek pedophile.
And so, like, I don't know. I thought it was just like some new type of guy, and it seemed very strange to me because that
New
like
type of guy just dropped.
Even most racists have given up on the whole humans descending or originating in Europe thing since like the 1920s, when we found pretty much undeniable proof that all of our ancestors are in Africa, that we were constantly finding hominid human ancestor bones, fossils in Africa. none in Europe except these very circumstantial bone fragments that suggest maybe they were walking bipedally, maybe they had premolars that were of the hominid variety. But at the end of the day, folks, academia is horrendous. We hate it, don't we, folks?
It's truly detestable.
It really is.
I don't know. If for some reason these two people that we've been sort of bad-mouthing, Madeline Brom and David Begun, are like listening to this and have a lot of shit to say, again, I have to reiterate.
Come on the pod, explain yourself.
Yeah, come on the pod and explain yourself. I have to reiterate, like, I'm not necessarily saying you're personally racist for doing this, but I think maybe there might be some sort of subconscious drive that's making you so sure that humans evolved in Europe, and maybe the people publishing your research have, an ulterior motive in promoting this kind of thinking, regardless of if that's your intention or not. And maybe the people who are picking up on it are exclusively the kind of people who aren't interested in paleoanthropology, but just racist people and fucking mega corporations who control our nation and think that the COVID-19 vaccine is causing tinnitus for some reason. But yeah.
Oh my god, have y'all... Okay, I suppose this is just coming up on social media everywhere. The videos of people spasming out like
love
fucking
it. I love it so fucking much. It's so good.
So funny.
Love it so much. It's
There's literally nothing fucking better.
Truly so fucking funny.
I feel like we've talked before about how certain medical ailments are culturally specific, like how there have been Italians who have literally died from drinking ice water because they think it can kill you. And something about thinking it can kill you just is like actually killing people, apparently. More than likely, it's something completely unrelated, but because of the culture that the doctors live in, the cause of death. Are you
discovering what psychosomatic means right now?
Well, yeah, but usually psychosomatic doesn't like kill you.
I mean, I guess it can.
I don't know. It's just there's definitely an aspect of psychosomatic like illness to it, but there's also just the fact that like people of certain beliefs tend to categorize symptoms and attribute it to something completely unrelated. Now, with the conservatives and the COVID vaccine, I think that they're all completely faking it.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They're just like acting silly because they want to.
They feel like little kids.
They're not real.
Yeah.
They're like the little kids holding the thermometer to the light bulb like an ET to pretend that they're sick and they don't have to go to school. Except going to school meaning taking a fucking vaccine that will protect you from a pandemic destroying the world right now.
You mean a plandemic?
Yeah, of course, the plandemic.
The plandemic, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was my little bit about the Yakubian apes. So, I guess
hold on. This actually tracks because Dr. Yaku supposedly created white people on an island off the coast of Greece.
Really? So, okay, I think we're making big strides in proving the Nation of Islam theology here on this podcast.
Maybe that's who this guy's working for.
Yeah.
That would actually be really funny. Before we get into questions and voicemails, I want to bring up a couple of things, actually. Maybe I can like put this at the beginning somehow because I forgot to mention it. Our last bonus episode for January 2023, I believe it's bonus episode number 12, was a heavily requested topic about the monkey hate subculture on the internet, and we did a bit of internet sleuthing. There's probably a lot more we can look into, but my offer for all of you non-patrons, all you freeloaders out there, if like a couple more of you, like let's say 2 or 3, subscribe to our Patreon to hear that episode, because a couple of you already have, then I'm just gonna unlock it next month, like February, and we will add an addendum to it on new findings in the monkey hate subculture. The other subject we went over in that episode was the monkeys of TikTok trend or whatever, where people on TikTok get pet monkeys. It's all very insane, and I think you guys would really like it. It's very fun. You have a lot of fun in these bonus episodes, so consider the Patreon. Now, moving on real quick. Someone, I don't remember who it was. I think it was someone in the Discord, actually. Okay, maybe it wasn't the Discord, but someone brought up the Poe orangutan. And this is an interesting cryptid. It is an alleged bipedal orangutan that was sighted in the town of Soncino in Cremona, Italy. The Poe orangutan is described as a normal orangutan, except for the fact that it has darker colored fur and walks on two legs. The first sighting of the Poe orangutan proved that it was dangerous by attacking calves in their stalls and destroying local crops. There was a hunt for the Poe orangutan, however, nothing came of it, and people were afraid to leave their homes at night. The Poe orangutan was sighted by 3 women by the Oglio River. I don't know if this is a direct quote because it doesn't seem like perfect English. I don't know if this is just like how Italians speak, but it says the women were quoted as saying, "Was at least 4 feet, was covered with dense fur, massive and dark. It looked like a big monkey. We took a big fright, feared would attack us. In a hurry, we grabbed our clothes and we run away, reaching the main road in a few moments for the town and the beach. Fortunately, the monster has come back." I don't know what that last sentence means.
I don't know, but
I'm
I'm
not
super
sure.
interested.
This is all I can find on the Poe orangutan at the moment, besides a little drawing of an orangutan biting the fuck out of some guy.
Okay.
But because it was sighted in Italy, we cannot rule out the possibility that this was simply an Italian man.
They saw a Sicilian guy for the first time.
Okay, so how about we do some questions? Do you guys want to take the lead? I've been talking this whole episode.
Yeah, Chan, can give the
Let me
questions
pull
pulled
some
up
up
because I have
right
the
now.
voicemail pulled up.
Woohoo!
You know what? While we're taking this awesome break, let me tell you guys about a little something called Monkey Cult Coffee.
Monkey Cult Coffee.
Here we do. We're doing the plug, everybody. It's fucking amazing. All right, bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee.
Sounds so
Shipped
good
right
too.
to your fucking door. Shipped right to your fucking door. Okay. And here's the fucking deal. You go to monkeycultcoffee.com. You buy whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. They got cool merch. They got awesome
A lot of
t-shirts.
fuck in this ad
They got
read.
awesome t-shirts. They got cool fucking swag. And most importantly, the coffee. It's delicious. I've been drinking it for about a week and a half now. And let me tell you, it's fucking amazing. Go
It
there.
seems like excessive amount of fuck.
Shut up. Use code Travis at checkout for 10% off your order. Again, that is code Travis. 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 I spelled it out because some of you were a little. But
in case you're still confused, that is the chimp that ripped off that woman's face.
That is the chimp that ripped off that woman's face.
If you're thinking of that chimp, that's the correct chimp.
All right.
You're thinking of the guy.
We are sincerely, actually, super fucking hyped to be working with Monkey Cult Coffee. So, you know, check them out. Buy some coffee. Maybe I'll post haul. Who knows? Get out there.
Are you allowed to promise that on the?
I'm not promising
this
that.
coffee is doing crazy
that is a joke.
shit to Greg. You know?
I got it right. It's right here in this mug. I've been drinking it for like a while.
It's
delicious. All right, get the damn coffee. Buy the fucking coffee.
If you drink Monkey Cult Coffee, you will not need gas station dick pills because it will turn you into a
fucking exactly. You just.
This is our Blue Chew alternative.
Get out there, go fucking buy the coffee.
Okay. Now, questions.
Okay, so first question, which honestly I might even answer myself because I watched a cool documentary that it was featured in. Ari asks, why do some of the mandrills got fun colors? And I mean, really basic answer, Austin might have more insight, is that it's the male mandrills specifically produce colors as they age until they get like their full faces, you know, their full beat face. And it's just part of their like it's part of their just like territorial marking or territorial aggression and keeping those little bitches who haven't been watching enough makeup tutorials in line and make sure they know their places. They do not look good. Your foundation is caking, Pam. Let's do something about it. Let's switch out this eye color palette. It's not working.
Let's go,
Side
bitch.
shadow palette. Come on.
I don't know. I think it looks kind of good on them.
Oh, it says here, is the coffee that good? Of course it is, guys. Use code
So no way is that the actual question.
Let's Eat Dirt asks, provided that they were sufficiently motivated and determined to do so, how many chimps would it take to overwhelm a Secret Service detail and maul the president to death?
1.
See, here's the thing. I think the to death is really important here. Because you got to think, like Austin described so cruelly by making us know this, chimps don't know how to kill you. They just kind of smack you around. I think you need a couple just to overwhelm the Secret Service and distract them long enough that you could actually, rip some vital organ out of Joe Biden.
Yeah, I think there's got to be at least, I'd say anywhere from 4 to 7, just because I think the Secret Service agents usually number more than that, and you got to think the ones who aren't like grievously wounded immediately will probably be firing on the chimps. And also, if the group number is too low, then the cohesion won't be good enough to like hold rank. There's no one giving them like the no retreat orders like in fucking Stalingrad. I think 7 would be a sure bet, because 7 is enough that they could coordinate this attack and at least kill. Well, hold on. Let's not say that. Let's say that phrase out loud. They might be able to overwhelm, theoretically, a president.
They might be able to Black Hawk down the president. Okay, everybody. if you have 7 chimps, odds are, all right, like they're getting.
It's like SEAL Team 6, except they're just mauling a president to death.
And nobody's gonna lie about doing it later on.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna know the chimps who did it, because they'll do it in public too.
They'll do it again.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this question actually comes from Jaden. Your Jaden, Greg.
Mine?
Which primate has the largest dick? Which primate is packing?
Me. It's me.
It's not Greg.
It's me.
There's I don't know. There's obviously humans are the largest penis, like
Havers.
just
great. We got great cocks.
proportionally largest penis. And there's a lot of theories about why this is, but in terms of just like the raw statistics, the average erect gorilla penis is 3 centimeters or 1.25 inches. Yeah.
No.
The average chimp or bonobo penis comes in at around 8 centimeters, and the average human penis stands at around 13 centimeters.
13? That seems like a lot. What about like 9? Right, guys?
Well, that's on the upper end of chimp penises, so
Yeah.
I will say, like, I was surprised by how big some of the chimps' dicks were at the chimp sanctuary that I used to work at.
You sure about saying that shit out loud?
I mean, you don't expect it, because I thought it was like gorillas where they just had like tiny schmeat that you can't really see.
Little baby dicks.
Some of that shit be swangin'.
Were you personally a big fan of the gorilla dicks?
No. I haven't seen a gorilla dick in person.
We know he was.
Besides size, the biggest thing that sets human penises apart from the other great apes is the fact that we use vasocongestion to achieve erection, which is just sending blood to the penis, whereas all the other ones have a penis bone that just on command shoot that shit up, which is really convenient. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, obviously to make it more flexible, but I'm not sure like what the exact purpose of that is. I would have to look into penises more.
So we can do that thing. This one.
Oh yeah, so we can helicopter our dicks around.
There we go.
I think it's actually a fair idea to say that we evolved large penises so that we could helicopter them around. Women actually love this, believe it or not.
They do, every one of them.
Yeah.
They're lying if they don't.
Yeah, no, exactly. Something interesting though is that chimp and bonobo testicles are, on average, twice as large as human testicles. And I may have mentioned this where I've definitely mentioned how big chimp balls are, but
Do they got
they
any
are
balls or are they out?
no, they're out, like they're hanging.
How do they be fucking if their balls are in the way of their dick?
What do you?
If their balls are so big and their dicks are so small.
They're not that. Okay, the fucking
I'm asking a serious question.
the penises aren't that small.
9 centimeters is like an inch and a half.
That is not true.
9 cm to inches.
9 centimeters is not an inch.
Oh, it's 3.5 inches, dog.
Yeah, and that's only like 2 inches below the average human penis size.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if their balls are twice as big as a person's on average, then they've got like, for everybody at home, I'm holding my fingers real close together, this much dick that they're actually working with because their balls are going to be in the way, or they're going to be smashing them.
I think chimp vaginas are a lot shallower than human vaginas. And I think that's part of the reason why humans evolved more flexible penises.
That's the thing for sure, yeah.
You're trying to hold back laughter while I'm describing this.
You think we got longer dicks in reaction to the cavernous gaping maw of human women? I don't understand.
Pussy. I don't know. I haven't looked into this very much. All I know is that there's a couple of competing theories on why both of these things happened. One of them is just that, because we evolved to stand upright, our penises were displayed more prominently. I guess also the flip side of that is that we actually evolved bipedalism to display our penises more prominently.
No way.
Which that's a really funny theory that I hope.
Can you imagine all of human evolution is just based on us trying to show off our cocks better?
That's not
good. Yeah, I don't know, but that's
Okay.
that's a rundown on which primates are packing. Thanks, Jaden.
All right. What's the next one?
Next question. We have.
Do the one directly under Jaden's.
Oh, where's that one?
Directly
just
under.
Read it if you have it.
Oh, okay, fine. Jacob Cum asks, which primate has the most suckable dick?
All right, Jakey Jizz. I know you're gonna hate that when you hear me say it out loud.
Most suckable dick. I mean, this is.
Well,
important.
it depends. Who's doing the sucking?
What does that mean?
Who's doing the sucking?
Among us?
No, we're not playing Among Us. Who's doing the sucking? This is gonna be our who's on first.
It is.
Fucking.
You're saying like who's the most suckable penis? Like by what metric? I don't understand. Like the smallest one probably is the easiest one to suck.
That doesn't seem right. That mean you just have a lot less to work with. A lot less.
I don't know, Chandler. I don't suck dick, so why don't you illuminate me?
My fault. That's not my fault. Don't get fucking pissy at me that you're not sucking enough dick. Okay.
Which one's the?
Listen, you want.
Which one's the least furry, Austin?
Which one's the least furry? You don't want any hair in your mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say it's. I mean, obviously, beyond humans, the chimps and bonobos are the closest to humans. Otherwise, so like, if you had to, that would probably be the way to go.
Are they
But,
circed or not?
Want to? Are they? Oh fuck! I don't.
So like we're saying like.
Hold on.
Do we? Okay, so are we saying like? Well, first off, Jake, like they're all going to have a penis bone if it's not a person's. All right, I can see Austin looking at his phone, and by the face he's making, he's looking up pictures of monkeys' dicks and balls.
He's loving it.
We really got to start releasing video episodes just so we can watch our facial expressions as we go through the episode. Here's the thing, JJiz. I think it's probably people. Homo sapiens probably have the most suckable dicks.
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely.
Fucking coward.
All right, Chandran, which one are you picking?
It looks like most, if not all, primates did retain their foreskin. So, that's good, including clitoral.
I mean, you can't answer the question. You can't answer what primate has the most suckable dick without. This is not.
I can until I've sucked them all. Anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of impossible to answer that question. You really set us up to fail here. Here's a new question asker, I believe. Sophia
Okay.
Gamer. That's
Okay.
Gamer, Gaymer.
Homosexual.
What would chimps talk about if they were in a blunt rotation?
Nothing good. Oh,
Nothing good at all. Only the most vile shit.
Yeah, like really heinous stuff.
Have you ever been to you guys are both from North Carolina, right? You guys have been to
Indeed,
a
we are,
blunt
yeah.
rotation with a bunch of racist high schoolers.
No.
Nope.
No, okay.
No.
Also, I hang out with cool people.
I just
also
figured
hung
that
out
was
with
something
good
that you had
people.
done.
Well,
No.
that's I know who you
This
hung
is a
out with
you-
in high school.
This is
For the
specifically
record.
you, so please elaborate.
I wasn't hanging out in the racist blunt circles,
Right, of
smoking
course.
racist weed.
Sounds
I just
like
feel
it.
like most North
Smoking that 20
Carolinian
G shit.
white high school students have that certain aura about them when they're in a blunt rotation, and I've witnessed them. I haven't even participated in most of the ones that I'm thinking of, but
They were using you as the
I
ashtray.
remember my sister invited a bunch of people from redacted high school over. There's this big blunt rotation, and I could feel racist aura emanating from that. I think that might be on my sister, but I'm not sure.
Clan energy.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So does that tie into the chimps or?
Yeah, I think the chimps would be they would be wearing those fucking camo hunting hats, right? They'd be passing around the blunt. They'd be teasing the women just a little bit too aggressively. So something along those lines.
I think any chimp who even touches weed would have a panic attack, unlike anything you've ever seen.
Well, okay. Well, they're
already neurotic.
I agree, depending on the strain, because there is, of course, we talked about this in the first episode. Ham, the space chimp, along with a couple other chimps he was in the room with, had weed smoke funneled into his little enclosure, and they were actually pretty chill about it, if you recall.
They love that shit.
This was 31 episodes ago.
Oh my god, Apes in Space was episode 1.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
It was a pretty good episode too.
It was a great one for sure.
Everyone go back and listen to episode 1 and see how, even though we hadn't really talked in years, how the chemistry was immediate.
Yeah.
Loved it. Some great buddies just hanging out, having a good convo.
First 20 episodes, Greg has the worst audio quality ever, so.
Terrible. It's really bad. We don't actually ever fix it, for real.
It's better now. I just had to buy a better microphone.
Okay.
All right, let's get another one, and then you want to do voicemails?
Yeah, let's do a question from Ed.
Oh,
Ed.
What would various apes and monkeys BDSM test results look like?
Fuck you, Ed. Gorilla, straight vanilla. They're not getting anything crazy on theirs.
Yeah, they seem like gentle, sensitive lovers.
Chimps, sadists, huge into sadomasochism.
Mm-hmm. I think primal, hunter, and dominant. Right?
I don't remember.
I'm looking at. I had to look up a list because I don't take this test because I'm normal.
Boring.
I don't know. These are all most of these make me want to kill myself reading them. Actually, I think a bonobo would be 100% in every single category, just because they would be into everything, especially daddy, mommy shit. They'd be simultaneously into being the dom and also being into being tied up and shit.
Chandra, what are you doing?
Playing Civ.
Chandran chooses not to acknowledge this question.
Chandra, come on, get involved here.
What's the question?
Jesus fucking Christ. What would various apes and monkeys get on the What the hell's it
Oh,
called?
BDSM test. Oh, yeah, this one.
BDSM
Okay. I
test.
skipped over this question, actually. I was like, we should stop talking about chimp sex. But you know what? Fine.
Fine, if you insist, that's
If
all
you
right.
insist. Bonobos lighten up the board, for sure.
Absolutely.
I feel, like the little guys, I think little guys are into giant test stuff just like as a default. Like
Okay.
macaques,
Oh, yeah,
lemurs,
yeah,
they
yeah.
just love that shit,
Love that shit. They want to be stepped on so bad.
They love scampering around and avoiding being
I thought you were going to
stepped
say
on.
they love scat play, because I'm sure they do.
All
chimps
dog
would
human
definitely be
primates.
into
Chimps
that.
are into scat play. So
All
much scat
monkeys
play.
are into scat play.
100%
Yeah, all
scat
primates
play all
just-
the way up.
Mhm.
Dry humping, probably. I think
Baboons are into shit that's borderline not kink.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, baboons are into like shit that should be illegal.
we should
Yeah.
we should start doing kink discourse about apes.
We shouldn't.
I
don't think anybody's actually studied if like this kind of shit is prevalent in primates, and I don't think it is. Like, I think it's just
Also,
different
dolphins.
mating strategy. Yeah, I mean,
Dolphins are
it's-
huge into kink, everybody.
yeah, no, that's they're not really so much into kink as they are into like the violence. Which I feel like that's probably I don't think you're gonna find much in terms of like kink existing in nature. I don't think that,
I wouldn't even know how to Google that.
I wouldn't want to Google that necessarily.
gonna.
No, I don't think that would bring
Are
up very many good results.
monkeys into kinky sex? Hit enter.
You gotta hit enter.
I think kinky
Non-reproductive
sex from-
sexual behavior.
Oh yeah, well I guess that could be considered.
Lions. Oh! Here we go. Well, bonobos obviously do this.
I feel like most non-reproductive sexual behavior in mammals besides humans is just same-sex coupling.
Mhm.
Like I don't think they're. I mean, chimps they suck each other off. We've established this.
Holy shit. Baboons are literally into the fucking, like, mommy thing.
What's up?
So, when
do
a
you mean by
female
that?
bonobo joins a troop, they will pair up with an older female bonobo, who will then, they will only have sex with each other for up to a year.
Good for them, man.
So they have like sugar mommies, is what you're saying?
I don't know. Oh my god.
All right, let's move on from this. Let's answer a voicemail or two or three.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you guys see it. It's 3 minutes long.
Oh God, 3 minutes. Does that
Yeah.
mean it's a two-parter, or did they just give
No,
up?
this is just one. They got it all in.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
It's deep fryer time.
So, hi, this is Lauren,
And Rex.
and we've got questions.
I got a question about monkeys.
I got
Thank
questions
you.
about
Two people.
apes. What kind of wine would a gorilla like if you were to go to the liquor store for a
Do
half?
they taste the tannins?
Yeah, if you were to go to the liquor store, what would I buy for my gorilla friend?
Since they can't taste, they don't develop tannin tasting.
No, I'm sure they like taste. They eat a bunch of fucking
Do
leaves.
you think people do tannin tasting while they tan their taints? That's
Alright.
off topic.
Ask your gorilla or your monkey.
Wait,
What the
okay, no,
fuck
okay.
are you
okay,
guys
okay.
talking
The
about?
monkey deep fryer.
Yeah,
Yes.
fryer.
Deep fryer monkey.
Deep
Okay,
fryer.
so listen. I forget how this came up in any kind of polite or otherwise conversation, but me and my fiance have come to the ultimate conclusion that if you were to take a deep fryer, place it in a monkey enclosure, like in the zoo, that if it was just perpetually running, the deep fryer, at some point, one of the monkeys is going to come up and investigate, of course.
They would
and
hurt
what the fuck is
themselves.
that? Bubbling in my house.
In my house.
But as these things are, they are greasy, and the
Are you
monkeys
guys okay?
fall in
No,
at
there's
some
there's
point,
high shit.
probably very quickly, and burn and die badly. And then his friends will smell him dying
Burn
badly.
and
go,
die
that
badly."
smells delicious.
I've died
That's
badly.
deep fried monkey. And they're animals, so they're gonna find some way to fish that motherfucker out, and they're gonna eat him, And the monkeys, it's going to make the monkeys fucking evil. They're going to find new and more devious ways to trick each other into jumping into the deep fryer, or just start pushing each other in there. And I think
This is like
honestly,
a
to this
Benadryl
point,
nightmare.
if we were to leave this for like 1,000,000 years while the monkeys evolve, they will just start birthing directly into the deep fryer. Because that's deep, and eating it. That's deep fried monkey, baby. I
don't
think it
think
could
that's
happen.
true.
I think deep fryer could be their god of making the world delicious and good to eat.
That oil's gonna get fucking nasty.
It's gonna be so bad, but they don't know. They said I'm a monkey and I've never seen a deep fried monkey before. That looks delicious. I'm gonna invent buffalo sauce right now. Anyway, yeah, I think monkeys would start birthing each other into the deep fryer. It was a natural conclusion. Lauren, can you tell them? Tell them.
Tell them.
I love that you guys call in and never address anything we say to you after. Are you? Are the two of you okay? Stay off the weed.
Please call us and let us know if you're all right.
They just keep calling. We release an episode where we respond to them and they call again, but they never address the thing that we had said to them after the last time they called in. Are you guys gonna fucking make it?
We'll never know, honestly.
All
All
right.
right.
Let's address the deep fryer real quick. First of all,
No.
you have to batter things before you put them in a deep fryer.
That's not true.
You usually have to.
You don't have to do anything before
You're
you
so
throw it in the deep
fucking
fryer.
white.
What do you mean? It's gonna taste bad if you can't just put a raw monkey in a deep fryer or expect it to get crispy. I mean, it'll get crispy. It just won't have that like.
I don't think the other monkeys care.
Do you think that Lauren and unnamed
I think it was no. I think
put this much thought into it?
Something.
Their name was Rex. I don't know. That's
Rex?
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong about that.
I knew a guy named Rex in elementary school.
Yeah. How'd that go for you?
He was too into the WWE. He was a fucking weirdo.
You're shit talking a fourth grader.
Can't be in the WWE.
Well, I don't know what he's doing now. His name is Rex, so I assume he works construction.
Oh yeah. of course. Maybe he's into dinosaurs. Is it like T-Rex?
How you don't really think that much up there, do you? You just kind of just blurt it out.
I'm gonna
Be into dinosaurs. Who doesn't love dinosaurs?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna say this. Morgan, let's eat dirt. You're gonna have to call in again because your fucking voicemail file is corrupted.
Uh-oh.
Just so you know, it just says I can see in the transcript. It says, "Hey gang, is Morgan? Let's eat dirt on Discord." And when I click play, it's nothing. So
That's not good.
try again. Ooh, here's a decent one. This person called in twice, so we've got like in total like 2.5 minutes of voicemail here.
Okay.
So let's listen to the first part. I'll put it in the Discord.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Adelaide. I'm a new patron that's been listening for a while. One of the things that I've kind of been thinking about recently, while slightly high, is so one of the biggest takeaways from your podcast is chimps are evil, violent creatures, and they are kind of scary. So I was thinking, like, how there's been a lot of like ancient cultures who have utilized like war elephants, and horses have been domesticated, and there's like war dogs with like armor and shit. So I was thinking, what do you think the hypothetical like historical changes there would be if any major empire across time had access to a large army of pissed off chimpanzees, and following that line of thinking, I was thinking a lot of ancient empires also used drugs to make their troops kind of berserkers. So I was thinking if you gave chimps a lot of opium that would also probably work really well. So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on the monkey opiate berserkers? And yeah, bye.
Okay, I'm gonna put the second part in now. Let's just keep going.
Okay, yeah, I have thoughts already, but let's hear
Okay.
let's
All
hear
right.
the rest of this.
Let's get all the whole thought out.
Yeah, okay.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, this is Adelaide again. The last message I left. Just trying to think, about another kind of interesting hypothetical here. Do you think that if given, control of some kind of like magic abilities, do you think an orangutan would be responsible with it? Like, I know a chimp probably wouldn't. He would probably just like tear someone's face off. But I feel like an orangutan would at least be a little respectful about the magic use. So, please let me know your thoughts on orangutan sorcerers. Yeah. Also, just wanted to say, keep up the good work. Trans rights are human rights, etc. Y'all are great. Goodbye.
All right. So, immediately I have to say, if chimps could be, sort of like half domesticated into like war animals, similar to like elephants, I think white people would not have been nearly as fucking bold as they were in Africa. That much I know is true. Second of all, I think the concept of berserker chimps. We may have we covered this idea before, like of a berserker chimp.
I think we have. I think we've
This
covered
seems like
this.
something that has definitely come up naturally. Um, yeah, I mean, the problem is,
I think we might have come to the conclusion that orangutans would be wizards too.
yeah, which leads into the second part. Orangutans would definitely be like, they'd definitely be very like wizened old men, very careful about their magic, very protective.
Did you say wizened?
Yeah, wizened.
Are you gonna stick with that?
Yeah, but am I using that word wrong?
It's wizened.
I thought it was wizened.
No, wizened, like you're wise.
I don't know.
Listen, he can't help it. He's just a little science guy.
He's Googling it right now.
I don't know. It looks.
Bro, it's like the Crimson Chin. What are you doing? You're
I don't know. It looks like it's pronounced wizened. I could be. Can we settle this debate? Look at this. You can't see it. Never mind.
Hit the
Call in and
the
tell us if
button.
it's wizened or wizened. I feel like it's wizened.
specifically Lauren and Rex. Call
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think they would be like the old like bookkeepers in the big wizard's tower, like jealously guarding their magic tomes from the young upstarts, such as like nefarious gibbons and the evil chimpanzees or whatever. I can perfectly construct a fantasy setting in my mind with this, and yeah, in fact,
Is it just the wizard movie from the 70s?
no. I think we talked about this specifically. What D&D class each primate would be, right? And I think we said
Yeah.
chimps would definitely be like a berserker, like warrior, and orangutans would be wizards. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my only other comment is, as cool as it would be, you couldn't ever tame like a war chimp. It's like you simply couldn't do it.
Chimps aren't meant for war. They're creatures of peace.
Well, actually, I don't know. Now that I think of it, I mean, if they could have, think about it, they kept Travis the chimp relatively tame for however many years. Obviously, not a good idea, but I feel like if you raised a chimp like you did Travis and like purposefully made it that psychotic, you could perhaps harness that rage against other people. if you were sufficient. I don't think anybody in the medieval times could have like tamed a chimp to that extent though, because and also you got to think about like the risk and reward of sure, you can unleash an army of chimps onto your enemies, but you'd also probably lose most of your fingers while like taking care of this chimp army. So I don't know how well it would work. Okay, want to do one more voicemail?
Yeah. Let's do another.
What up, chimp fucker?
Oh my God.
Sarah here. I
Oh my
just got
God.
COVID isolation. I binged like 2/3 of your show during that, so
Okay.
you can imagine my current mental state. Austin, huge Piss Vortex fan here. Glad you returned to Tumblr with a vengeance. Also, I know you've been told this before, but you should really do some soul searching and like self-reflection about why exactly you have so many trans girl fans. But anyways, my
Not my
actual
fault.
question for y'all, would you rather fight one gorilla-sized gibbon or 10 gibbon-sized gorillas? Again, I haven't gotten through all your episodes yet, so sorry if someone's already asked a question like that, but just let me know. And I'll sign off with my audition tape for my local zoo.
What? Oh. Damn!
10 out of fucking 10.
Holy
10
shit!
out of
Damn,
10
that's you guys
on
got to
that
step
one.
up your game.
You're getting the job.
Yeah.
You're getting the fucking job.
Yeah, everybody who calls in, we expect that level of enthusiasm about the chimpanzee screaming.
Yeah.
You gotta be taking it that serious, because we are. Because we are.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather fight? What was it? One gorilla.
1 gorilla-sized gibbon or 10 gibbon-sized gorillas. I think I lose to either of those.
Yeah, that doesn't seem entirely fair.
Like a 600-pound gibbon.
I don't think you could kill a 600-pound gibbon.
I can't kill a 600-pound gibbon, or like 10 what? How big is a gibbon?
Gibbons
like
aren't that
pounds?
small.
Gibbons are big.
They're still apes. They're just small apes. Like, I don't know, standing up, they're like taller than the average medium to large sized dog. I don't know.
A gibbon weighs between 4.5 and 8 kilograms, and I don't know what that is in English.
It's in English.
8 kg to pounds.
They're
It's like 17 pounds. So am I fighting 10, 17-pound gorillas? Do they retain the strength of a gorilla?
I think that's essentially like fighting. Well, let's assume
It's like fighting 5 pit bulls, and brother, they haven't had any kids for breakfast yet.
I was gonna say,
Oh my
like,
God.
assuming they're still as dense muscularly as a gorilla, just scaled down to gibbon size, then that would literally just be fighting 10 extremely pissed off pit bulls. Oh my god.
Yeah,
you would.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess the difference between a gorilla and a pit bull is that gorillas don't.
The pit bull loves you.
No. The pit bulls. I mean, sorry, the gorillas don't really bite as much. Like, they don't utilize biting as much. I feel like I could be wrong about that. Like, the gorillas might just slap you if they wanted to bully you around.
Fair enough.
This is similar to that viral question that's been going around Twitter. Would you rather be locked in a mall for 48 hours with 10 black mamba snakes or 1 adult male silverback gorilla?
In a mall?
Yeah, in a mall.
Give me the snakes. I'm going upstairs.
Well, that's the thing.
They can't figure out how to use an escalator.
Yeah, but, like, do you know where the snakes are, like, spawning in this mall?
Do I fucking care? There's only 10. It's a mall.
Yeah, but...
If I see one, I'll move.
But what if you're
A
like...
gorilla's dangerous,
What if you're
no
like...
matter the
Okay,
environment.
but
That's
hear
the
me out.
issue.
What if you're, like, sleeping and one of the fucking snakes
Why
sneaks
would I
up
go to
on you?
sleep?
I'm in there for 1 day.
No,
I'm
it's
not
48
sleeping.
hours.
Okay,
Why would
48
I
hours,
sleep?
Whatever. The fucking combination orange Julius Dairy Queen's right there, and then also Sparrow's right next door. I'll stay awake.
Got plenty of coffee and pizza.
Yeah, but assuming this mall is completely unstaffed, it's just you alone,
I can operate a fucking soft serve machine.
I would rather take my chances with the gorilla because
Why?
The gorilla.
No reason to.
The gorilla is going to mind its own business. The snake is just going to bite you if you accidentally step on one.
Why would the snake not mind its
The
business? Why
snake
would you
is
step
gonna
on
mind
it?
its own business way more than the gorilla, and also I can close a door and the snake's not coming.
I don't know. It's just that gorillas are naturally like gentle, like kind natured. And right, I think like 10 given sized gorillas wouldn't really be trying to beat up on a human.
But you have to fight them. That's the point.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Did you?
But what if
Did you miss the whole thing?
But like what if you could like pass a speech check and just like skip the fight entirely? You know?
This isn't Fallout. This is real life.
I don't know.
Why are you making more Why are you adding more hypotheticals?
Yeah, why are you adding in a leather layer?
All right, fine. Okay, then I don't know. I mean,
oh my god, I'm picking 10 given size.
yeah, I would too, just
because
because.
hopefully I can kick one and kill it, and then use its body as like a swing, like swing it at the other ones.
It's
Yeah,
just,
it's got to be given size gorillas just because I want to fight something a gorilla size. You know, that's
Yeah, no,
gorillas are
those something
fucking
gorilla
big, y'all.
size.
You got
Like
to
10
remember.
given size gorillas, maybe I can fight them one at a time.
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
with the gibbon,
Maybe I can glitch on top of maybe I can glitch myself on top of the office table, and then they won't be able to get up there, but I can stand there and shoot them.
yeah,
Just like,
I think the
what,
gibbon would
fucking
be way
COD
too.
zombies, 5.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
gibbon would
Good
be
one.
way too agile. I'm imagining like you're in the fucking redwood forest in California, and it's just like swinging on the massive tree branches, just like lumbering at you at like a fucking 100 miles an hour, just lands on you and kills you instantly. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, all right, that was an interesting hypothetical.
All right, well that's the fucking episode, folks.
Yeah, nothing really to plug. We got our plugs out of the way. Follow us on Twitter.
We did.
And
Oh, fuck.
what's up?
I haven't done it in so long. I keep meaning I need to shout out patrons
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end of the episode.
Let's shout out some patrons.
So I have the list pulled up here. So I'm going to shout out some of our brand newest patrons here.
Yo.
So the Jaunty Fool, thanks so much for joining at the $5 tier. We love
The
you.
Jaunty Fool.
The Jaunty Fool.
Why are you so jaunty?
Linda, thank you for joining. We see you in the Discord, Linda. We love you. Figs McGigs. Cool fucking name. I don't know. Thanks for fucking joining it. Adelaide, we just listened to your voicemail, so thank you so much for being a patron. And Jacob, thank you so much for being a patron. I'm only reading first names if it's your real name, but I'll read your whole name if it's a bit.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much. You're some of our newest patrons. We've gotten like 6 new patrons this month so far. So
Yeah, just
keep up the good
I'll
work.
say a couple more, and we'll do an addendum to the Monkey Hate episode. And with that being said, we're pretty close. I think like $287 a month, right? We're pretty close to the $300 a month live episode goal. Hopefully,
we're at $273 a month.
No.
That was optimistic of us.
Yeah.
$300 a month would make that happen.
We're gonna have to fucking do it. So
we'll figure it out, I guess.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Guys.
That's $100 a month for each of us. That's enough for like a plane ticket.
No,
maybe.
fuck, it's not.
A plane ticket.
It's not $100 a month for each of us.
$300 a month.
We have bills, people. Get us like $400 a month,
Yeah,
and then it'll be $100 a month.
I forgot.
For
It's
each
not
of us.
just. Yeah, we.
Also, everybody, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Big things coming. Maybe, hopefully, big things coming.
Yeah.
Big
Awesome.
things coming.
big?
Well, I don't know. Am I allowed to? Can we talk about it yet?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. No,
yeah,
I
probably.
wouldn't. I would keep it secret.
I wouldn't until we get it.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
it's for sure. But we might be having a very special guest. That's all we're gonna say.
We might be having a very, very special guest on the show, so expect us to blow up and act like we don't know you.
Okay.